style as self-care. Hello and welcome, my darling ravens. Today I want to talk about one of the most misunderstood ideas in fashion, the idea that getting dressed is somehow shallow. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a chiffon blouse will solve all your problems. Were that true, I'd be problem-free by now. But I do think that there is something that is psychologically powerful about choosing how you represent yourself in the world. Here's why. Most people think that self-care means adding something into your routine or life, like a face mask, a bubble bath, a fancy coffee. But sometimes self-care is remembering who you are, that ancient voice that binds you to your humanity. And for many women, especially later in life, fashion becomes one way of doing exactly that. Think about it. When you're overwhelmed, stressed, grieving, exhausted, or simply feeling disconnected from yourself, what's the first thing that often disappears? Your sense of identity. You stop feeling like yourself. You start feeling like a collection of responsibilities. You might be the worker, the caregiver, the problem solver. Maybe you're the person that's managing everyone else's needs. That's where intentional style comes in. Not because clothing changes who you are, but because it reminds you of who you are. Psychologists call this self-signaling. The things we do, they send real messages, not only to other people, but also to ourselves. So every time you choose something that genuinely reflects your authentic personality, you're reinforcing your own identity. You're telling your brain, this is me. And that matters, especially for women who've spent years trying to fit expectations that never really fit them. Maybe that's why so many of us end up embracing alternative fashion later in life. At some point, you get tired of dressing like someone else's idea of a respectable adult. You realize you don't actually want to look like an extra from an 80s corporate training video. No offense to anyone that's being forced to channel a background character energy from Working Girl. We all have our journey. The point is that personal style isn't about trends. It's about alignment. When your outer appearance reflects your inner reality, you experience less friction, less performance, less pretending, more authenticity. And authenticity is surprisingly common. It has the potential to silence that free-floating anxiety that so many of us battle, because you're no longer trying to spend energy fitting into someone else's expectations. So the next time someone tells you that fashion is superficial, remember this. A well-loved outfit isn't just fabric. It's a reminder. It's a signal. It's a small act of self-recognition. And sometimes, my little graveyard darlings, that's exactly the kind of self-care that we need to make it through our day, to meet our responsibilities, to become who we are. Not becoming someone new, simply coming home to ourselves. I'll see you in the shadows. Bye, loves.